Hi, welcome to For Flow with Chloe, where today we are going to pull a few cards on the Aquarius full moon, and it has apparently peaked at its fullness energy at 1926, and I make it about that now. So we're going to get going. Let's see what happens. We have got, so Aquarius is an air sign, a fixed air sign. We are in Leo season, so fire energies. And they are directly, feeding off of each other currently, with them being in a full moon situation in the sky. And move those up a bit. We also have anything that is like fixed signs is going, anyone with fixed sign placements is going to be feeling a lot of tension potentially right now. But there's also a lot kicking off with mutable signs. So our fixed signs are Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Earth, Air, Fire, Water, Scorpio. And our mutable signs are Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Virgo. We've got Mercury retrograde in Virgo as well. So yeah, all of those placements are being massively activated by planets going on in the sky at the moment. And these T-junction sort of placements of the planets that we've got going on. These T crosses. Okay. So, first of all, we have the Four of Cups. She looks a wee bit disappointed there, to say the least. This is the energy of having hopes, but maybe not really expressing them and just holding on to things and holding on to a disappointment, when actually you see the big flare of colour up the side of that card. There's a lot of potential, but the energy is kind of stuck because the person is mentally stuck. They're holding on to some kind of past thing or version of things that they thought was a thing that maybe turned out not to be a thing, but that is a massive distraction. So they're looking towards all the pile of things that maybe didn't work out. Actually, they're not looking behind them to the energy source spurting out a massive potential that they're not looking at because they're too fixed on the disappointment. Then we get the Five of Cups. Again, this is a little bit about emotional disappointment. And like, yeah, she's like spilling one of the cups with her feet, but there's a magical cup sat right behind her. And so there is an energy around, like fives are a little bit of a disruptor, so there's an emotional disruption here of some sort of like feeling of disappointment or loss that is just a perception, that is maybe something that is actually based in the past. Maybe you don't actually need this thing anymore, and maybe you're not seeing what needs to have your back turned to it to move towards something brighter. And interestingly, we get the Star. Such a beautiful card. The Star represents Aquarian energy, and it is an Aquarian full moon. And it's that real let go and make a wish kind of energy. And anything is possible. Aquarians are very unique and very determined, and they have a lot of mental focus. Their energy is very third eye chakra-y. But when they bring this energy, this potent mind energy, down to the heart chakra, they can put it into something emotional and really go with it. And it's a heartfelt wish. It's like the currents of energy being put out to a true sort of manifestation. And then we get the World. Sorry, I said the World. Yeah, the World, which is a completion. For a moment, I was also thinking of the Wheel of Fortune. So I said the World, but at the same time saw the Wheel of Fortune, which is very much like a roulette wheel, like let the chips fall where it may. But the World is pure completion. And so because I sort of Freudian slipped on that one and kind of saw the World card as the Wheel of Fortune at the same time, I feel like that is a key of letting go. Because we talked here about how there's some sort of like disappointment of like a former self, a former version of you wanted something, it didn't work out, and maybe it's still kind of bogging you down in some way, your energy in some way, whereas you could have something new and you're not seeing the future potential. And so you need to surrender and really feel the wish emotionally and not just think about it, and surrender to letting it happen. And then you can have the World and you can have a sense of completion, which is beautiful. And then we get the Seven of Pentacles. This guy is busy sprinkling magic on his lovely garden of pentacles. Pentacles are like, earth, they're real life things. They are what we sort of physically, realistically invest our energy into. They're like real life issues, real life things, like real tangible things. They're not just a feeling. They're reach out and touch. Their solidity. They're not like the spiritual woo-woo. They're like bringing it into reality. And his little plant that he's sending his little magic into, it's got such big roots. It's one of my favourite cards, if I'm honest. Because it's moving towards something through pure self-belief and through a strength of self-belief. in a magical way, not in a gung-ho way, like it's in a peaceful, like trustful way. And we also got the Six of Pentacles. So again, another earthly growth card. But here you've got the two hands. It's harmony, it's harmonious giving and receiving. And so we've got this energy of like putting the magic in and trusting, and then the pentacles are growth. And it's not just in one direction, it's giving and receiving. It's compatible energy with either a profitable business, or giving and receiving in a structured, down to earth way within the person. It can be as well. But we also have the Tower, little squirrel. It's had its tree electrified. And Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. And Aquarius represents the electrical currents. It's the zigzags of the two zigzags is its almost like rune-like symbol for its sign. And it is the currents of communication and the currents on the air, like the signalling. It's the electrifying thought, the wave of communication coming in from a electrifying event, like something is lit up. And so often we see the Tower and it's like, oh my God, devastation. But no, often the Tower needs to come in, and everything with Uranus, it can be that rebellious force and that change maker and that like forward thinking, I can't grasp the word I'm thinking of, but change maker is the best that I can get right now. Rebellious kind of change maker, like shaking things up and shaking things down and rocking the foundations of what was to create something new. And we then get another very Aquarian card of the Page of Swords. Check out all the ideas she's had with those light bulbs and all the fancy knowledge she has absorbed from that big old book. Like I said earlier, Aquarius is very much about mental energy. They like to learn and they like to do it their way. And they can often be like head in the clouds, but in a very fixed way. Like they know who they are, and there's not a lot of questioning them about who they are. They're very individual, and when their mind is made up about something, it is quite hard to change it. So I'm just going to have a little reassess here. Okay. And then we have the Queen of Wands, fire, and this real kind of feminine, self-knowing, like self-confidence, basically. The Queen of Wands, she's very, very self-confident. She's very self-assured. And Aquarius is very creative with their knowledge as well, because they're very unique. And the Queen of Wands is the flair, the spark, the sass. And so I feel we need to put these tools together, and then we get another very heavily air sign card, which is the Magician. So the Magician is the equivalent of all four aces. They have the sword from the air element, they have the fire, the passion, the spark from the creation from the fire element. They have the grounded stability and realism and pragmatism of the earth, and the patience and tolerance. And they also have the love, the empathy, the nurture, the intuition of the cups, the love, the water. And so we have this guy sat here making this figure of 8, dragging these energies up from this portal and alchemizing. So alchemizing it all to make a new way. It's balanced, like he knows his capabilities, he's in his mastery. And so it's interesting, it's like we've got the knowledge and the passion, and we've had this like shakedown of the old ways with that Tower card. And we were talking about how we need to get rid of the old ways up here and let go of like how you thought it was going to be and how it's actually going to be. Making our new wish and believing in it, investing in it, and letting go of the past doo-doo, and receiving the world through regrowing something, and really putting a rocket up the arse finally of what it is we need to let go, and having that final shakedown, relearning about ourselves, growing new confidence about ourselves, relighting that spark, that wisdom and that spark, and alchemizing all of it. Like we're not like just like, oh, cut it off, done. These lessons, these disappointments here, we're alchemizing here to move forward. And we get the 5 of Pentacles afterwards, which is you can see the person on the card looks locked out, left out, they're sat sobbing outside a door, but the key is right there. The key is literally here. So there might be a situation where rediscovering ourselves means kind of going within to re-alchemize and feeling maybe like nobody understands us or what we're doing. But Aquarian energy doesn't really care about that. It's rebellious and it's unique and it's determined. And so we may feel a need to sort of go within and like we are shut out from others by doing so, and finding ourselves and finding our spark. But the people who make us feel shut out maybe are not the ones who are going to come with us into this new self version. And then we get Temperance. Look at those angel wings. So having the patience and the balance, and we've got the he's holding, do you notice actually as well, a sun and a full moon in his hands, and he's got wings, air sign, and the crown chakra is lit up. It's quite an airy card, but of balance and having patience and trusting. Aquarians are, while being quite rebellious and unique, they are very much also about community and creating communities and bringing people together through revolutionary ideologies. That is the word I was thinking of here, revolutionary. They're quite humanitarian, and they, like I said, are change makers. And a lot of leaders, I guess, do feel alone and shut out at times when they maybe have to cast off past versions of self. But you need to be patient with yourself, and invest in what your spirit is saying and trust it. I'm going to take some cards from another deck. I want to know about the 4 and 5 of Cups. What are these disappointments? The 2 of Earth. Indecision about where to invest your security. Juggling 2 energies because they both have a reality and a security that makes you feel safe, and it's hard to choose which one to invest in. And some of you maybe feel you chose a wrong path and something seemed like it was going to be a security when actually maybe it turned out it's not. Underneath that we have the Hanged Man as well. So I'm just going to show you 2 of Earth. Woo! Moving the table there with my knees. It's not spirit moving the table, it's just my knees. And then we have the Hanged Man. So I need to go within. I need to go within and process. To realise which one will truly flourish. There may have been a period of isolation where you had to come to a decision, or there may be going to be a period of isolation required for you to make a decision about which is the true security and which is the true path. And it requires you going within and, you know, searching for spirit and investing in your true nature to realise that. Let's have a look at the 6 and 7 of Pentacles. Ooh. I got the Tower again. That's unbelievable. We were just talking about security. Why am I getting the Tower on these Pentacle cards? Whoa. 4 of Water. 4 of Cups. And the cards flipped to reveal the Council of Monarchs, which is Judgment. Oh, I've accidentally picked that card up off the table with me as well. Sorry, realising I just said the Council of Monarchs. Dun 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 was Judgment when it's Justice. I always do that. But, I mean, there could be a linkage there, but it's just something I always do. Judgment, Justice, because, you know, justice leads to judgment. But yeah, that's interesting that happened. Ooh! Blimey. Let's do that. It's interesting that I asked about, you know, why on 2 stable cards of growth, of real life things, we get the Tower. I feel like it's maybe like a destruction of what you up here believed was going to be your solidarity, and an acceptance of knowing that that is no longer your security, and what you thought maybe your ideas about security had changed massively and been torn down, and actually you found security possibly in a situation that you formerly didn't think was possible or doubted in some way. Because we are getting that Four of Cups card again down here. That kind of disappointment. And it's about knowing that actually you've got all the resources you need, you've got it good. Why are you questioning it? Why are you still questioning it? Why are you still questioning what you've got? Why are you still not seeing the value of where you're at compared to, say, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Look at how far you've come, how much you have gained. But rethink it. You need to rethink a lot of stuff. And it may be all coming up with this Justice card. It may all be coming up because you are at a point where you are needing to, or thinking of maybe some kind of emotional, with that Four of Cups being there, maybe some kind of emotional investment that you have found yourself in has forced you to rethink your current financial state, your current living structure, legal structure, I don't know, like family ties, marriage, divorce, inheritance, all those kinds of things are under the Justice card. Maybe you're doubting what you have to give to a situation like that. Anyway, it's going to move on, because we got the tower there, so I don't think I'm going to pull on the tower, because actually we got the tower repeated there. I'm going to continue. Whoa. It wants me to take this card, whatever it is. The Knight of Water. So the Knight of Water is an emotional message incoming. See how they've got the lovely instrument they're playing, some kind of beautiful like sitar-like thing. I don't know if it is actually a sitar. I'd like to think it was, because they're beautiful sounding. Well, the swans fly in that mate for life. So there's some kind of worthwhile emotional clarity coming in, or offer coming in. It kind of, I was looking over here when I did it, so it's somehow tied, it wants me to have this one as well, somehow tied, there's two here, to the Page of Swords and the Tower. I then get the Three of Air, the Three of Swords, so some kind of past heartbreak. I feel there's more to say on this Tower. I was wrong. I feel like this is why the deck's now spitting cards at me. It's like, don't ignore this other Tower here. there's a fear. There's a fear about releasing. There's a fear about maybe how things have gone before in contracts, like the 3D contracts that we make to people through like marriage and family and commitment and things. The kind of ties that bind financially and legally. There's some kind of destruction of the ways you thought about it before, or the destruction of the way a heartbreak made you feel about investing in that way again. And then we get the Eight of Water. The Eight of Water is walking away. Previously you had to maybe walk away from something. There was a big emotional investment and a very big financial investment, or there were meant to be these commitments, and it didn't happen, and you had to walk away. But you also need to walk away from the hurt of that, because I think you've got a third party living in your head, your heart, and tugging on your success, like that whole living rent-free in your brain or somewhere in you, about how things went down previously, and it's maybe made you a bit cynical, and you maybe need to have some more, rethink things and have some more self-faith and cut off the ideas you had before and know that that is over and trust that it's not going to happen again. What about this Queen of Wands? Tell me about this Queen of Wands. Nine of Air. That is worry. That is like Saturn in Gemini and Saturn or something. Okay, I've got some more cards it wants to show me. The Queen of Fire again. This is hilarious. Okay, I've got a whole pile here. So the Queen of Wands wants us to know that you need to let go of your fears, your worries, your doubts. So hallelujah, come on, get happy. Chase all your cares away. That just came in. Because you're the Queen of Fire, you've got this, you're the creator. The Six of Fire, the Six of Air. You've had your troubles. You know what they are. You're moving slowly towards a new beginning, or you have had to do this. You've had your lessons and you've not left them behind. They're coming with you because it's shaped where you're going. And where you're going with your Six Swords. The swords are a painful suit. They can be a painful suit of like mental worry and loss and trouble and quarrel and too much mental energy. and you've fought your battles, you know your troubles, and you've not completely cut them off, because you know they're part of you and part of your journey, and you're taking them with you, and they've helped shape who you are, and you know that, and you would not be you without those troubles, and they're coming with you, but in a learned and peaceful way. And then we get the 8 of Earth, which, I mean, honey to the bee, you and me, look at all the bees, look at all that pollination, look at all that plentifulness. You're going to a good place, and you can form strong, solid roots where things are going to flower, they're going to blossom, there's going to be the honey. And then we get the 4 of Fire, a rebirth, going through the fiery portal of a new beginning and creation to all the good places. I'm now going to pull on this 5 of Pentacles while we're feeling left out in the cold. The 5 of Fire, little battles, little gremlins, putting out little fires. See all the little dragons coming in from the corners. And another. That one. The World. And we've got the World up there. If you can overcome these little demons, you'll have completion. So don't fear these little demons. Don't feel left out in the cold, because you don't want to be locked in there with those little demons anyway. It's left me a card. The Queen of Earth. Stand strong. Be patient. There's a deck all upon the floor here. Very, very lively cards today, and unbelievably lively cards. But yeah, she's patient. She doesn't take any nonsense from anyone. She doesn't bat an eyelid at the demons. She is sitting back, watching her garden grow, knowing that she's got everything she needs, that she is plentiful, she has enough to offer, going back to that 4 of Cups, like that doubt and not realising how much we have to give. And you know, we've grown it in the 8 of Earth. If we can let go of all of this past hurt, and these ideologies that it created through these past traumas, like let go of the victim, let go of the victim that this happened to. Stand in your power, take your lessons, know yourself, but don't live in fear that this is all going to happen again, because you can trust, you can have this wish. It's just yourself and your doubt that you need to overcome, and anyone that is stirring the pot and wanting you to remain in these insecurities. Because the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Earth, she is very abundant, and she is at peace, and she knows she is the shit, basically. She's got it all, and she knows it, and she's calm about it. She's not grasping, she's giving with it, she's generous with it, she's nurturing with it. She's like, you know, you want to know how I did this is how I did this. You want help getting there, I will help you get there, because I know it, because I lived it. and I got this far because of it. She's a good woman. And that leads us back to this Temperance card. Okay, so I'm going to go do some oracle cards. So I feel we have a full message here. A full and lively message here. Flower bouquet. I showeth the card is. Savor presence with life and notice the magic living in small moments. That is very Queen of Earth. I'll go for one more from this deck. That one is sticking out. Tiger's Eye. A new path and opportunities for positive transformation await you. All those towers, all that letting go, that star card, that world card, all these amazing cards, the magician, everything on the table, you know, is pointing to that. So yeah, sit back, chill, know you've actually got it all already. Take a breath, enjoy it. Appreciate it, you know, have gratitude for how far you've come and know that you've got all the resources you need, and then you can pave way, let go of the past and the ideologies of the past, and a new path of opportunities and positive transformation await you, and you can walk forward happy. I want an Everyday Witch card, or wherever I left them, all the way over there. If you've watched me before, you know I just love to close with Everyday Witch. Tears of Joy and Sadness. So this is about that new beginning. With every new beginning, there is often a loss, and it's okay to be sad about for your past person, your past version of you. And it's okay to rejoice in complete and utter tears of joy now for your new self, your new person that you are now, and to know both these. That it's hard to let go, but it's beautiful to move on. And they are both tears of joy and sadness. And then we get water magic. Just want to show you both those cards. Look at the beautiful dolphin here, which I also always associate with Aquarius, because while they are mammals, they live in the water, but they're mammals like us. And Aquarius, it's an air sign, and I always think of the way the dolphins like leap out of the water and they blow the water out of the blowhole thing they have, the air thing. They come up for air, basically. And Aquarius, it is the water bearer, so it carries the big vessel of water that like brings the source of water that hydrates us all, right? But it also is an air sign which communicates it, and it's like this circulatory system of communication and rejuvenation. And that's kind of like dolphins. And the way they can communicate through like sonar, the like electrical impulses, I think that's massively coming up for me off this card. And you know what they are? They are so joyful. Dolphins are so utterly joyful. And so yeah, it's okay to have like learned your lessons and grieved your past self, but don't get stuck there. Be joyful. like the dolphin, and embrace your emotional abundance, and know that, you know, you can fill your own cup anytime. And make sure you keep coming up for air, keep breathing, keep diving deep into your true feelings and your true joy and your true bliss, but always come up for air. And I'm not quite sure what that means entirely, but that was very channely and weird. So yeah, don't get lost down there in the depths for too long, because you need to jump and rejoice like the dolphin. And that is the reading. I hope you liked it. It was a bit weird and random in places, and I have had like 2 glasses of wine throughout it, so, you know, well, maybe 1 before and part of 1 throughout it. But yeah, thank you for watching Flow with Chloe, and happy full moon. Mwah.